Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. It is February 26th, and we have a significant severe weather outbreak that's going to occur later this afternoon through the overnight hours in through Monday morning. So we have a lot to talk about there. And then we have more severe weather coming later this week as well. Plus, maybe some snow chances as well as we get into late this week across parts of the area. The snow chances I will go over in the supporter hub on Facebook and a little more in depth. But big time severe weather risk today. If you are on YouTube or Facebook, please hit that like button, thumbs up on YouTube, share this post with your family and friends. We got to get the word out there that significant severe weather is coming, and then comment where you're from as well. It helps with Facebook algorithms as well. All right, so let's get down to it. All right, here is the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. We have a moderate risk that has been expanded through most of central to northern Oklahoma. Like I said, for late this afternoon through tonight into tomorrow morning as you move east. So let's go over some of the areas here. So slight risk in the yellow here. Kansas City, Missouri, Overland Park, Kansas, Topeka, Kansas, down towards Branson, Missouri, Harrison, down to Fort Smith, McAllister, Oklahoma, Wichita Falls, Texas, then over towards just east of Amarillo, up towards Perryton, Liberal, Kansas, Dodge City, Hutchinson, Emporia, all in a slight risk for severe weather. Like I said, later this afternoon through tonight. Enhanced risk for Wichita, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, Fayetteville, Arkansas. So, like I said, Springdale, Arkansas, Bentonville, Joplin, Missouri, right on the border of Branson, basically, over towards far northeastern Arkansas, towards Grove, Oklahoma, Wichita, Kansas, Chanute, over towards Crowell, Texas, Duncan, Oklahoma, and then over towards, like I said, Muskogee as well. Now, the moderate risk is for Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, of course, Tulsa, Norman, Oklahoma, Lawton, Oklahoma, and Broken Bow as well, down towards Altus, Hobart, Elk City, Ponca City, Enid, Stillwater, and then far northeast or northeastern sections of the Texas Panhandle here, right around the Red River, around Vernon as well. So the basic synopsis of today is just directly from the Storm Prediction Center. A derecho event is forecasted with widespread damaging winds and embedded swaths of significant severe wind gusts from 80 to 110 miles an hour. Okay, that is very, very significant. We're talking, like I said, straight line winds, widespread damaging wind gusts of 80 to 110 miles an hour, especially across Oklahoma, and then fanning east as we go tonight. So, like I said, this is mostly centered on parts of Oklahoma this evening into tonight. Embedded tornadoes are anticipated as well, with the greatest potential for strong EF2 to EF3 tornadoes across southwest Oklahoma this evening. We are talking about, now I know this is not a hurricane, but we're talking about hurricane force winds, possibly of Cat 1 to Cat 2 hurricane winds across this area. And you've seen damage from hurricanes in the past of Category 1, Category 2 to roofs, partial collapses of homes. If you get these winds over 100 miles per hour, this is going to be very intense, a lot of damage out here, especially when they're forecasting a derecho type event across Oklahoma for late to this afternoon through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Now you're probably wondering, what in the world does derecho mean? So derecho, unlike everybody's familiar with tornadoes and hurricanes and straight line winds, this is basically a long tracked event, a line of intense, widespread, fast moving, basically windstorms with severe storms that moves across a great distance and delivers hurricane force winds. They sometimes call a derecho an inland hurricane because there's so much damage that occurs with this. Like I said, derechos may not be as well known as hurricanes and tornadoes, but these rare storms can be just as powerful and destructive. They produce walls of strong wind that streak across most of a lot of this landscape through here, through hundreds and hundreds of miles, leaving damage in their wake. So this is something to take very seriously, especially if the Storm Prediction Center is saying we're going to be having a significant, widespread, damaging wind derecho come through this area with 80 to 110 mile per hour winds coming through the area. So first off, you need to have a, if you don't have a weather radio, you need to find a way to get warnings, have it wake you up, because a lot of this is going to happen overnight, tonight, possibly after you go to sleep. So you need to have a way to get warnings. You need to have a way to have something wake you up when there's a warning, because when this comes through, you need to treat this like it's a tornado warning, because the winds are going to be that strong. So you need to basically take your tornado precautions, even though this is going to be a straight line wind event, but the winds are going to be so strong, basically like a strong EF1 tornado coming through a large swath of Oklahoma here, through southern Kansas, into possibly northwest Arkansas to Missouri as we go into the early morning of Monday. So you need to think about basically sheltering like this is going to be a tornado coming through, okay? Because the winds are going to be, like I said, I can't stress enough, the winds are going to be that strong, 80 to 110 miles per hour in certain spots across this area. So now let's go over some of the risks. Here is the hail risk for later today into tomorrow morning. All right, this is the hail risk, okay? So, especially in the hatched area, significant hail could be possible. Lawton, Oklahoma, Altus, El Reno, Woodward, Oklahoma, down to Vernon, Texas. We're talking basically golf ball to hen eggs possible in the hatched area of there. So basically 2-inch diameter hail in the hatched area. Outside of that, into the yellow here, is a 15% probability of seeing 1-inch diameter hail within at least within a 25 miles of any given point. So 1-inch diameter hail, or 1-inch diameter hail, is basically the size of quarters. If you get larger than that, 1.5 inches is ping pong size. 1.75 inches is golf balls. 2 inches is hen eggs, and then 2.5-inch hail is tennis balls, basically. So significant risk here for large hail. All right, here is the tornado risk. Like I said, the hatched area: Lawton, Oklahoma, Yukon, Oklahoma, Altus, El Reno, down to Vernon, Texas. This is the likelihood this evening of seeing EF2, EF3 plus tornadoes within 25 miles of any given point in this area coming this evening. Now, on the outside of this is a 5% risk, basically from Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Wichita, Kansas, Norman, Oklahoma, down to Wichita Falls, Texas. Basically, the probability of seeing a tornado is 5%, a 5% chance within 25 miles at any given point. Then outside of that, the 2% in the green here goes all the way up in through parts of Missouri. Let's go over a few towns here: Kansas City, Overland Park, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, Joplin, down towards McAlester, Oklahoma, all the way out towards Dodge City, Kansas. 2% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of any given point. So there's a lot of big risks out there. Oklahoma is basically under the gun, basically under the crosshairs of this system. But the biggest threat is going to be this derecho type wind event. 80 to 110 mile per hour winds coming through. Let's go look at that real quick. All right, here is the wind risk. This is the most significant threat out of this whole thing. Anywhere in the hatched areas of basically the Panhandle of Texas over here, just east of Amarillo, go down towards Vernon, Texas, northeast through most of Oklahoma, all the way through northeastern parts of Oklahoma, southern parts, southeastern parts of Kansas, and over towards southwest Missouri to Springfield, Lebanon, basically Clinton, Nevada, over towards Joplin, Fayetteville area, far northwest Arkansas, Bentonville, Rogers, over towards Siloam Springs, and then Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Stillwater, Enid, down to Elk City, Norman, Oklahoma. All this area here is under a severe wind risk threat of, like I said, Storm Prediction Center is really hitting hard on this, 80 to 110 mile per hour winds. So widespread wind damage is possible. If you get these types of warnings, you need to treat these storms coming in as you would shelter for a tornado, because the winds are going to be that strong. Like I said, 80 to 110 miles per hour is a high end, especially 110 miles per hour is a high end EF1 tornado, basically, of winds, that wind criteria for a tornado, basically, of EF1, a high end EF1. But this is going to be a wide swath of very damaging derecho type winds that come through the area. So basically, like I said, derecho winds are basically like an inland hurricane. This is going to be an 80 to 110 miles per hour winds, straight line winds. This will do a lot of damage tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, hopefully we don't get a ton of damage, but the threat levels keep going up across this area. Okay, so like I said, when you get warnings or when these thunderstorms are starting to come into your area tonight, you need to have a way to get warnings. If you have a NOAA weather radio, you need to make sure that you have fresh batteries in it. Make sure your phone stay charged, because if you get these heavy winds, there's going to be widespread power outages as well. A lot of damage everywhere. If and when this materializes, and like I said, the threat levels keep going up as we go along throughout this morning and into this afternoon. So big time wind. I can't stress this enough. You need to treat this as if a tornado is coming through your area. You need to shelter like there's a tornado coming when these warnings, these possible severe thunderstorm warnings come out. Some towns, some cities may treat this, especially if there's wind gusts over 80 miles an hour. They may treat this as a tornado warning and just sound the tornado sirens. So, like I said, some cities do that. They have criteria as well. But like I said, you need to shelter like there is a tornado coming towards your area when this damaging straight line winds come into the area. Now, I know I was long-winded, but I really needed to hit that wind threat, because this is going to be a very bad event. Plus, as this line comes through, because this low pressure is coming in, it's going to be really rapidly developing. There's going to be strong winds behind this as well. So you have high wind warnings out here towards eastern or far western Texas, eastern New Mexico, up to 60 to 65 mile an hour gusts out here. And as you get east, a lot of these wind advisories take effect after dark tonight. So we're talking 25 to 40 mile an hour winds. And then gusts up to 50 across. I mean, we have wind advisories all the way out towards West Virginia for late tonight into tomorrow. But most of the mid South here, and then the Ohio Valley, and the mid Mississippi Valley as well. So let's take a look at dew points real quick. This is what they call going to be just in time moisture for this wind event, this very strong severe weather outbreak that we're going to have. So as of right now, I mean the dew points are not that high. I mean they're in the 50s through most of Oklahoma, Arkansas, but you can see what's waiting down here. You got mid 60s to 70 degree dew points is hanging off the coast here of Texas. Very soupy down here today. And then as we go throughout this afternoon, you can see where this big time cold front's coming in. Look at this. This is how strong this thing is. And this thing is really packing a punch, driving these strong winds into this. And then you have, look at this, you're getting upper 50s to 60 degree dew points hovering around the Red River here, going into Oklahoma, upper 50s all the way up here towards the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas as well. And the moisture is really getting rich as we get towards 10 o'clock tonight. This thing is really bowing out, just driving all this wind energy east and northeast. You're gonna have 60 degree dew points. So, like I said, it might not feel that bad out right now, but as the moisture is going to continue to increase across the area as we go through later this afternoon and tonight. And like I said, you could, even if you get in Arkansas, you're in the low 50 dew points. A lot of us are in right now, and then those are going to continue to expand into the upper 50s to right around 60 as these storms come through early tomorrow morning, and pretty much shifting east with the dew points. That is. So let's take a look at. Take a look at the composite reflectivity here. So, like I said, right, this is the 18Z HRRR, by the way. This is high res model. So this is looking like storm initiation probably around 4 p.m. Across the far western part of the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma, and far eastern or western parts of Kansas. And then they really blow up and congeal into a line. Like I said, embedded in this line is going to be some tornadoes as well, along with these very damaging winds that's coming out, like I said, of 80 to 110 miles per hour. And then there's going to be some supercell development possible down here towards southwestern parts of Oklahoma, and that's where you get those bigger tornadoes of EF2 or greater out in that area. So this is, like I said, here's a timestamp over here. This is Central Time, 7 o'clock tonight. Like I said, big time storms rocketing through Texas. These are going to be very fast moving, and there's going to be a lot of wind energy coming down out of these storms, and there's a lot of wind coming in behind this as well. And that's why we have all those wind advisories, high wind warnings, and then as this possible derecho comes through, it's going to create even stronger winds of 80 to 110 miles an hour across parts of Oklahoma, and probably getting into northwest Arkansas, into southern Kansas, into western Missouri as we go forward here. So 8 o'clock tonight, pretty big line of congealing storms here across Oklahoma. And I'm going to try to zoom in here for you so we can see it a little bit closer. Just a second. All right, so here's Oklahoma. You see the Boeing segments here, and then as you get these little inflow notches like this, right in here, you will have basically probably a spin up tornado in some of these basically embedded with this big line of storms coming across, and then as you can see, you got this little notch, inflow notch here, and then you have a basically bowing out here as well. So ahead of these bow echoes, this line of storms, it's going to be very strong winds. Like I said, I can't stress this enough. 80 to 110 miles per hour. You have to take this seriously, because you're going to have to shelter like there's a tornado coming when this line of storms comes. Okay. So, and then this thing really blows up down even into Texas as we go through 9 o'clock tonight. This is approaching the Oklahoma City area as we get towards 9 to 10 o'clock tonight. Like I said, these are going to be super fast moving storms. This is through central Oklahoma by 10 o'clock. Like I said, Boeing lines of storms, got some inflow notches, plus, like I said, then more bows as you go throughout Oklahoma. So this is going to be a very widespread wind damage event that's coming through Oklahoma and parts of southern Kansas later tonight. This is 11 o'clock, is approaching Tulsa metro area as well, and getting really close to Dallas and the Fort Worth area with some of the southern line of storms that's coming through there. And then this is pressing east. This is midnight. This is 1 p.m. This is getting into northwest Arkansas now and into western Missouri as we get through 1 o'clock. Now let me switch the view here. All right, so this is, like I said, this is 1 o'clock. This is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And it's starting to die down. The southern line is starting to die down, but there's going to be wind out ahead of this as well. Probably not as strong as it was out in Oklahoma, but you still need to take action. Basically, far northwestern Arkansas is under the gun for the heavier winds. But as this line starts breaking apart and stuff, there's still going to be winds out ahead of it, and pretty windy conditions behind it as well. So this is 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then approaching St. Louis. But like I said, a lot of it is dying down as we get through the early morning hours of Monday. All right. So you can see where this line basically of between very dry air and very moist air, like I said, 50, 60 degree dew points, and then you're rapidly dropping off to the single digits of dew points behind it. So like I said, as this line of storms comes through behind this system, there's going to be very heavy winds behind it too, because this is showing wind gusts of possibly 60 to 70 miles per hour behind this main line as it comes through. And then I'm going to move forward here, and as you can see, as these storms are coming out, as we head towards 9 o'clock, and there's going to be some heavy winds over here in Oklahoma, but behind it, like I said, behind it as well, you're going to get 50, 60, 70 mile per hour gusts at times behind this front that's coming through the area. Like I said, you're going to have some individual gusts here of over 100 miles an hour in Oklahoma, through central Oklahoma through 10 o'clock. And then those are getting into far northeastern Oklahoma. This is showing, like I said, don't take these numbers for absolute truth. This is just showing a depiction of what could happen. This is midnight. We're talking 50, possibly 60 mile an hour wind gusts through northwestern parts of Arkansas into northeastern Oklahoma and southwestern Missouri. And possibly 50, 60 mile an hour gusts still across that area here as well. Still windy across the Texas as we head into early morning hours of Monday. 40, 50 mile an hour gusts here. This is behind that big line of storms. The line of storms are going to be clear over here in Arkansas and Missouri as we get towards midnight to 1 o'clock. And like I said, the storm's going to be dying out, but there's still going to be some heavy winds ahead of this, 50 to 60, possibly 70 mile an hour wind gusts as well. This is just one model showing the depiction. This is going to change. Like I said, Storm Prediction Center sees a need to really stress on a derecho type event of possible wind gusts of 80 to 110 miles per hour across, like I said, Oklahoma into parts of northwest Arkansas, into southern parts of Kansas, into southwest Missouri, late tonight into tomorrow. Now, as we head towards mid-morning tomorrow and Monday and after, there's still some severe weather going to be around in Illinois, in through Indiana, and parts of Ohio tomorrow. And here is a tornado threat, 2% chance of a tornado within 25-mile radius in any given point in this area. And then here's the wind threat tomorrow. Basically 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible across that, especially this area here of eastern Illinois into central Indiana through far western parts of Ohio. All right. Then after that, we're going to have another strong system come in later this week, Thursday into Friday. We already have an enhanced risk out for Thursday afternoon through Friday morning across basically Arklatex, northern 3/4 of Louisiana in through Mississippi, far western parts of Alabama. And we have basically a slight risk around that through central Arkansas up towards Memphis, Little Rock, down to Dallas, Waco, down to Houston, New Orleans, Mobile, Alabama, Birmingham, up to Jackson, Mississippi. So this is day 5 outlook. We already have an enhanced risk out. There's going to be a low pressure system. All depends on the track of this. So this area will change, can and will change as we get closer. But this low pressure is scheduled to track up basically through northeastern Texas, through southern Arkansas, and basically go up through Mississippi and Tennessee. There could be a swipe of snow on the backside of this, and I'm going to get into more detail. I have been getting into more detail on that on the supporter hub on Facebook, and the member hub. Basically is a supporter hub on YouTube as well on that. So if you're not a supporter, you can support the work we do as well. For you, it's $4.99 a month. You get long-term content, first dibs, any seasonal content. I'm going to have a hurricane outlook coming out probably mid next month as well. Also, we have giveaways that we do from time to time as well in the supporter hub, and we also have a way to join to be a supporter on YouTube as well. If you're on YouTube, click that join button on the page, and then you have multiple ways to support us in the work we do for you. Now on Facebook, I will post a link in chat as well if you want to join. Like I said, it's $4.99 a month. Really helps us out a lot, supports the work we do for you all, and we thank you all for supporting us as well. Now let's go back and touch base on basically just a recap of the severe weather that's coming later this afternoon and through this evening and into tonight. All right, here is the risks for today. Actually, this later today into tonight and tomorrow morning. Moderate risk for Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Norman, Lawton, Broken Bow. That's just a few towns in there. Big area of moderate risk here. There's almost 3 million people that's going to be affected just in the moderate risk area as we go in through, like I said, tonight into tomorrow morning. So enhanced area, Wichita, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, over towards northwest Arkansas, Fayetteville, Springdale, Bentonville, over towards Joplin, Missouri as well. and down through Oklahoma and parts up towards Woodward as well. And on the other side of that, slight risk for Kansas City, Missouri, Overland Park, Topeka, over towards Jefferson City, Missouri, Hannibal, Missouri, on the western side of St. Louis, basically, down through parts of northwest Arkansas, down towards Fort Smith, Wichita Falls, Texas, just east of Amarillo, Texas, as well. I cannot stress this enough. This is a very significant wind risk that's going to come into parts of the area, especially in Oklahoma, through southern parts of Kansas, in through northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri, as we head into, like I said, the western part here is late this afternoon, in through this evening, and then overnight hours basically for eastern Oklahoma through northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri and southern parts of Kansas as we go, past 11, 12 o'clock tonight. So big time wind risk, 80 to 110 miles per hour winds are possible. It's going to be a widespread damaging winds, and like I said, embedded in these this big line of storms is going to be significant severe gusts of 80 to 110 miles an hour, mostly centered on parts of Oklahoma this evening and tonight, but they will get into northwest Arkansas and parts of southwestern Missouri, southern Kansas as we go forward as well. There's also embedded tornadoes are anticipated within this line as well. There's the greatest potential for strong EF2 or EF3 plus tornadoes is going to be across southwest parts of Oklahoma this evening. So, like I said, when these storms come into your area, you need to take these as a tornado's coming, because the winds are going to be so strong of 80 to 110 miles per hour possible. You need to have a way to get warnings and make sure you know where to go. You need to treat this as you're sheltering for a tornado, because the winds are going to be that strong across this area. Okay? All right. If there's any watches that come out, I will share them on Facebook with you all. Like I said, please like this post, share this post. We got to get the word out here, because this is a very damaging wind, very damaging, strong, severe threat that we have today. Like I said, winds, I've said this a million times, winds are going to be 80 to 110 miles per hour in spots across this area, as Storm Prediction Center is predicting a derecho type event coming through this area later today into tonight. All right. Have a way to get warnings. Please share this post. Get this word out to your friends and family especially that live in this area. If you include, it's one thing I want to touch on here real quick. If you include the marginal, slight, enhanced, and moderate risk, we're looking at right around 20 million people that's going to be affected with severe weather today into tonight into tomorrow morning. 20 million people. So we need to I need your help to get the word out there. Share this post. I will repost the live stream in YouTube as well. I'll share the link as well on here on Facebook. So be prepared for that. And then, like I said, if there's any watches that come up, I will tell you. But thank you all so much. And thank you to our supporters that support the work we do for you all. Thank you all. Stay weather aware. Have a way to get warnings. And you need to, especially when this line of storms comes in, you have to treat it like there's a tornado coming, and you need a shelter like there's a tornado coming through this area, because the winds are going to be so strong. Like I said, 80 to 110 miles per hour is not something to play with across this area. Stay safe, everyone. Like I said, stay weather aware and have a way to get warnings, because a lot of this may come overnight and you need to have something to wake you up. Keep those phones charged as well.